it is one of our biggest quarters in the year. So a number of activities, and we are looking forward to an accident-free festive period.
All right. Would you just give us a general overview how safe our roads have been during the past week?
Well, the past week has been very good, especially that there was a warning given by the Met Department in terms of the rainfall pattern. Remember, when it's raining, roads become slippery and visibility is compromised. So there are those tips that we give, how to drive during the rain season, how to drive at night time. So the adherence was quite good. The response was very good.
Right. Right, our topic of discussion today is the Road Safety Week, and so we'll be able to interact with you on our platforms. That includes our text line and our Facebook page, as well as our call line if you need to participate. As we discuss the Road Safety Week, kindly explain what this commemoration is all about.
Well, thank you very much. The Road Safety Week is one of the biggest road safety events in the country, and this is commemorated every year in December. This is towards the festive period. As you are aware, it's a week-long program in which a number of activities are lined up. I'm sure as we go into details of the program, we should be able to outline particularly what activities have been lined up. So basically the objective of the Road Safety Week is to raise road safety awareness among road users. And we are talking about road users. It's not only specifically motorists, pedestrians, cyclists, wheelbarrow pushers, and motorists. So all these, they've got certain rules and certain adherences they need to adhere to. And also, it is a period when we map up strategies. Remember, this is a period where there is too much merrymaking. A lot of institutions go on holiday, people are crisscrossing the country, meaning that the number of traffic on the roads gets to increase. So we need to take up the mantle. You remember, we are mandated to be in charge of traffic management and also to ensure that there is a road safety in terms of people adhering to it. And the idea is to reduce the number of road traffic crashes during the festive period and beyond. So when we say during the festive period, it's not that after the festive period then we go to sleep. What this basically means is that at this particular time, law enforcement, road traffic enforcement is heightened, and actually a lot of strategies are put in place given the nature of the period that we are in. So as you may be aware, during the festive season, people travel to various destinations for various reasons, for holidays, and by people usually in a celebratory mood. Others have just completed their exams, others are going to get married, others are celebrating their anniversaries. So that's what creates a celebratory mood. And you know, naturally, people want to go to different places and go and have fun. So it is during that process that there is a temptation for people not to adhere to road traffic crashes, no, to road traffic rules to prevent road traffic crashes. So basically, this is where we come in as a RTSA to conduct intensified, and when I say intensified, it's really intensified. When it's not intensified, sometimes we have an opportunity, for example, to be educated on a particular offense. But during this period, there's what we call spot fine. There's no time for compromise. Actually, compromise doesn't exist during this period. What we do, for example, if you are an unlicensed driver or you are permitting an unlicensed driver to be in charge of your motor vehicle, we charge you on the spot and we take you instantly to the fast track court so that you don't make such a mistake again.
All right. And so maybe to be specific now, it's a week-long commemoration. When is it to be undertaken? And if you have also coined a theme to it, maybe you can also help us interpret and explain why you've come up with such a theme.
Well, basically, what is going to happen is that it's a week period. It's starting on the 12th, which is next week, Monday, but the televised launch will be on a Sunday. So Monday, people will converge at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, and it ends on the 17th, which is a Sunday. So the theme for this year is actually leveraging on partnerships to promote or improve road safety. What this basically means is that, you know, road safety is a shared responsibility. Yes, we have the mandate, and by law we are given that mandate to do what we are supposed to do. But we cannot do it on our own. We need stakeholder collaboration. Look, we are here because we have a partnership with you to engage with members of the public through this platform, and so that we share information with the members of the public. And also, where we are not present, we've got other partners who do our jobs on behalf. I'll give you an example of our outsourced partners. We've got Zampost who provide services on behalf of the agency, and selected local authorities that also offer services on behalf of the agency. This is what we are leveraging on. Can you imagine if those people who are present in almost every district were not given this opportunity to execute some of the duties for the agency? It means our people are going to have a tough time. They are going to travel long distances to access a service which can be acquired at 80 kwacha, and look at how much they were going to spend. And I'll give you an example. If you were, before we opened our Serenji station, for people who were in Mukushi, they had to travel all the way to Kabwe, and you're going to maybe have your vehicle examined for roadworthiness. You remember? Can you imagine how much fuel you're going to put from Mukushi to go to Kabwe and come back? And that service is acquired at a fee of 64 kwacha. So because of the partnerships that we have with other people, Kapiri Council is able now to do roadworthiness of motor vehicles. They are also able to sell now road tax. So meaning we are catering for the people. So these are partnerships that we want to leverage on. We want to ensure that all our partnerships are activated. When we come to enforcement, what are we doing with our partnerships? Zambia Police is one of our good partners, so we team up with them to ensure that presence is visible during this period.
All right. Maybe we can go further to explain to us what activities you have lined up for the commemoration, during the commemoration of the week.
Well, there are a number of activities. First of all, what has been lined up, and I'll take a bit of time just to explain on each one of them. So the activities include, first of all, on a Sunday, the Honorable Minister of Transport and Logistics, Honorable Frank Tayali, is going to do a televised launch on Sunday evening, most likely slightly after the main news on a Sunday. Then thereafter, on Monday, there's going to be an official launch where the members of the public are now going to converge. There will be a march past, I think, from the Road Transport and Safety Agency headquarters, which is along Dida and Kimati Road, at the Road Safety House there, and people are going to march up to Mulungushi International Conference Center. So at the Mulungushi Conference Center, that's where now speeches are going to be given, and that's when the details of the activities are going to be done. So some of the activities that we are going to do include road shows. We are going to conduct road shows in places like selected shopping malls, markets, and selected schools. We are also going to conduct information kiosks. Information kiosks is basically mounting of information kiosks where members of the public can walk into and ask all sorts of questions. You have no restriction. You can ask general questions pertaining to RATSA. You can ask about how to acquire a driver's license, what category of a driver's license, how to endorse a driver's license when you want to be transporting dangerous goods, how to obtain a road service license, how to register a motor vehicle, how to change engine, up to things, even things that people do not know. Because sometimes people want to restrict themselves that RATSA is just traffic law enforcement. I think there is more that the agency offers. If you are a transporter, what do you need to do? How do you get identity? What is identity? How much does it cost? For how long? Road service license, what are the requirements? What do I need to do? So that is what the information kiosks are for. We are also going to conduct road safety awareness and education. We are going to have teams along the Great North Road, maybe from Lusaka up to Chibombo. Then we are going to have people from Lusaka up to Mazabuka, just to be placed on strategic points, just to randomly stop motorists and give them flyers, and just to give them some education and some tips of what is expected of them. So, and we are also going to visit places like taxi ranks. I mean, those we know that there are taxis which are operating outside the stipulated regulations. We also have the amended Road Traffic Act, which people do not understand, but it favors them. So that's the reason why we are going to the taxis and to tell them, look, 31st of December, the Amendment Act becomes operational. Do you know what it offers? At what age are you supposed to to be for you to acquire that particular license, for a PSV driver's license? How do you endorse? How should a taxi operate? So this is an opportunity that we are going to use, and we are also going to be distributing T-shirts, highway codes. I'm not sure about the umbrellas, but I'm aware that there will be a lot of freebies that will be given. The idea is to have people to raise the consciousness in terms of road safety. We must create a cadre of a population that is aware about road safety. We don't need just to be aware of road safety or to know issues to do with road safety only when you are driving. We need to create a situation where people grow up knowing that you're on the road, you need to be safe, this is what you need to do. We just need to be courteous to ourselves. You know, even when, you know, I was even discussing with a colleague of mine that right of way is not a right of life. Yes, you can have the right of way, but you have seen someone is misbehaving. Do you also need to go straight? You've seen that he's not stopping, he's going to come. Because you have a right of way, you need to stop. You leave them go. You protect your life.
You seem to just be focusing in your explanation. The main focus is just about Lusaka as we conduct the commemoration of this awareness week. What activities are lined up for other provinces or other areas across the nation, because they're also affected?
Well, thank you very much. Lusaka is just actually the launch pad. That is just where the national event is going to be launched and the significant statements are going to be made. But whatever will be done in Lusaka is going to be replicated in all the 10 provinces of this country. It is the same message that is going to be in Ilwapula, same message that is going to be in Eastern, Northwest, in on even the activities that will be done in Lusaka are the same activities that are going to be lined up in those particular provinces. Because after all, the RATSA officers there are the ones that know the needs of the local people. So what we are doing here may not be applicable there. So they need to solve local problems with local solutions.
During this same commemoration and the desks that you are going to, are you also going to offer some of these counter services that you offer, for example, issuance of road tax, printing of forms for someone to undertake a fitness test, or maybe change of driver's license? Are you also incorporating that to make sure that also those services are available to people during the commemoration of the week?
Well, thank you very much. And unfortunately, people will just have to move into the RATSA station, because for you to change your driver's license, it means you have to move like the office now. Remember, this is a whole week. So today, if you are at Lewanikamo, you have to move computers, you have to move the printing machine. There's a lot of whole equipment that is moved. You are basically setting up a station. So our advice is that the RATSA station will remain open during that period. So there it's just basically information sharing and exchange of ideas. But for services like road tax, renewal of driver's license, acquisition of driver's license for first applicants, those have to go to our stations and visit those particular stations, and they're going to be attended to.
And seemingly it's quite some involving and educational week. What are Zambians, suppose, or citizens or residents and motorists and other road users, what are they supposed to be reflecting on during the week-long commemoration?
We would appreciate if members of the public can continue adhering to speed limits. You know that speed is one of the major contributory factors to road traffic crashes in this country. So we will take this opportunity to remind members of the public to adhere to speed limits. The speed limits are put there not for fashion or for decoration. There's a reason. Engineers will tell you that the weather condition and the road condition on this particular stretch, you can't drive beyond the speed. So when they put 60, there is a reason for them to put 60. So we would appreciate if members of the public can adhere to that. And safety is a shared responsibility. So don't leave it to me, Mr. Musumali. Sorry, I want to use you as an example. You, when you are driving, you see something is happening, you always pick up that phone and the initiative and share with us some of the bad behaviors you see on the road. That is what we encourage. We always tell people the 983 is open to everyone. There was a perception earlier on that it is only a call center for Lusaka. No, this is a national call center. So we want people to work with us. You don't have to wait for me. You don't have to wait for a patrol vehicle. You don't have to wait for a uniformed officer for you to report to them. If you notice somebody, for example, if you are driving along Kasangula Road and the person is driving in a reckless or dangerous manner, please take note of the number plate of that motor vehicle. Make sure you don't miss the digits. We've had situations where somebody, maybe because of their emotions and because they were not carefully looking at a particular motor vehicle, in the process of getting the number plate, they get the wrong one. So when the person is summoned, is surprised. Maybe you are summoning a vehicle that is in Ndola, and say you're on Kasangula Road, then that becomes a problem. So what we are requesting members of the public, make sure that you get the correct details. If the vehicle is along Chulumburu Road, say vehicle registration number AJB 1020 was driving in a reckless manner, and you at least give us an idea of, because reckless, you have to explain it. Reckless how? Is it dangerous driving? Okay. If dangerous driving, you say maybe he didn't stop at the traffic lights, then that amounts to dangerous driving. Then we are going to take note. And please do know that whatever you share with the agents is between you and the agents. At no point are we ever going to reveal to anyone that the person who reported is this. Then we are going to defeat the purpose of confidentiality. Remember, it is one of our core values. We are attached to that. It is more or less like a vow that we need to hold people's confidentiality in high esteem. What you tell me is between you and me. So when you report to me, us now becomes our responsibility to take action to summon that person. After all, the database is in our hands. We sit on it. So we're going to call the registered owner of that particular motor vehicle and ask them, this is what has happened, this is what happened. In this case, you have violated this regulation. We are therefore charging you for this offense. And once the charge is given, we create what is called a case number. Then our agents have got the duty to call you back to say, that case, this is how we handled it, we have summoned this person, the case number is so, this is the charge. They must give you a resolution of what happened. And there's need for mindset change. We just need to change our mindsets. Look, there is no need to be in a hurry, and there is no phone call that is worth your life. And there's sometimes just unnecessary honking around town, I mean, you see that your friend in front is not moving. He just can't stop unnecessarily. Either the vehicle has developed a fault, or if you're in front of the traffic lights are just green, just red or amber. The moment they just turn green, you see people honking, you wonder what's the rush. You know that you are going to go straight into a road that is very busy and you're rushing for work. There's what we call journey planning. Think ahead of time. If the road you're going to use is very congested, start off earlier than planned. This is where you find out that people are cutting in. And those are the accidents that you wonder, how did it happen? Because people are rushing. So we need to change our mindset and let us work together. Let us not treat RATSA as an enemy. RATSA is not an institution that you must run away from. It's an institution that you must run to. Befriend them. Let them be your colleagues. Get any information that you need. Make use of for you to understand. Sometimes people say I can't go through the call center. We shall be getting into the call center issues as we go down, and I'll be able to explain in detail.
But again, that is just one side of mindset change, where you're saying people should not honk unnecessarily, flashing lights unnecessarily. But there are moments you're on the road and maybe you are trailing behind the vehicle on a double lane. The vehicle ahead of you is seemingly just driving below even the speed limit, maybe at 40. And there are other vehicles and almost moving parallel, same speed. We need to pass. You cannot pass. You cannot overtake. And when you find space, you want to change the lane, you maybe find the person who's even signaling to you to jump or fly over them, perhaps reading a magazine on a phone. So what would you caution such drivers?
That amounts to bad road user behavior. First of all, you know that you can't do that on the phone. You can't live stream, you can't read a newspaper, you can't be on the phone. And if you want to drive slowly, our roads now are expanded. Go to the slower lane. Also, the slower lane doesn't mean...
But there are instances where they keep to the outer lane, and they're driving in such a manner.
It is very unfortunate, and I can't agree with you more than that. So you can also take note of such people. Like I said, take note. I mean,
I may not find an opportunity because I'm also driving. If I have contact the mobile phone, I also become a culprit of a road traffic offense.
In an event where you have no passenger on board to assist you, take note of the number plate. The guy is driving slowly. It's common and that is expected, but we are not saying we are going to tolerate. The best we can do is to take note of the number plate, and if we can't, and taking note of the number plate, Mr. Musumai, doesn't need that you need to actually capture it. You can quickly memorize it, but again, you risk getting it wrong. So in exceptional circumstances, and please get me clear, I'm saying in exceptional circumstances like those, you can honk, and you can just honk maybe just to alert the guy that, look, you are delaying, and you just do it once, because if you do it 2 times, the other guy is going to do that, then there's commotion. And you know, there are different people on these roads. Even when they know they are wrong, they want to still be abusive to you. So now you know what is going to happen now? You also get emotional, then we go into road rage now, and it just becomes
another
worse.
offense.
Yeah. So it is actually people who have undergone through driver test, these are things they are taught. It is very worrying that people, they know what to do when they're in the training, when they want to acquire driver's license. The moment they get a license, they behave the opposite manner. But we cannot stop talking about it. We need to keep talking about it so that people change. So, you know, change is a process. It can't be today and tomorrow. So we have to continue talking about it. The way we have spoken about it, others have listened.
All right, and earlier you did touch about the timing of this commemoration, which is driving into the festival season and the celebration that comes with it. Maybe you can take advantage of this to walk us through the attributes, the factors that lead to lots of these traffic accidents.
The most common one is driving under the influence of alcohol, or drinking and driving, or to avoid driving while intoxicated. People want to drive because they are happy, and they want to drive under the influence of alcohol, or they want to drink while they are driving. The agency has always emphasized on this factor, because most accidents at this particular time occur to drivers abusing substances like alcohol. They just want, there is just that temptation this festive season. Yes, Christmas we must merry-make, but also it's not the end of life. There's life after 25th. There's life after 1st of January. So we must continue to think about the future. It's not worth it to celebrate on the 25th, then you don't make it to the next year. Of what value is it that you are alive on the 1st of January, then on the second day you are normal? It's as good as not being in that year. Our prayer is that everybody will make it in that year, and we are putting in measure to emphasize that it is actually an accident-free festive season. Pedestrians, let's look out for pedestrians. I always say this, Mr. Musumani, and I'll repeat. The fact that you have got an opportunity to own a motor vehicle and to drive it doesn't make you a more special human being than the person who's walking on the road. That's why there are those provisions. Even people who don't own motor vehicles. Sometimes, do you know that even the people that we want to treat as pedestrians, maybe he has just parked a vehicle which is maybe even be better than yours, and you want to treat them like they are less human beings? No. They are also road users. They have got the right to use that road. They are citizens who have been provided for to use. So we must look out for pedestrians, and who may be victims of careless driving, and who may be victims of people who are drinking and driving, or those who are driving under the influence of alcohol. It is therefore imperative to ensure that those intending to drink do not drive. Here is a puzzle. But why do we manufacture alcohol when we don't want people to drive? There's an answer to that. We are not saying don't drink. What we are advising is that if you think you are going to have good time, you are going to drink, please make pre-arrangements with a friend, a colleague, a spouse, a relative who are sober and they've got a valid driver's license to come and pick you. Then you can drink as much as you want. What we are discouraging is a drunk person to be in charge of a motor vehicle. It's because of the consequences that come with that. There's a lot of dangers that are associated with that. So pedestrians should also avoid highways. I'm coming back to pedestrians. In as much as they must be respected, they must also avoid highways and areas of high traffic flow, because this is where a lot of accidents have been recorded. When people are in a drunken state, they want to cross the road at any time. So no, because in the maybe even the guy also is drunk there. So what happens? So they also, our pedestrians, they must avoid highways, areas of high traffic flow, so that there is just that that understanding. It is also not just good, Mr. Musumani. Every time 34 people were killed. Oh, these people were killed. We must say this festive period, everybody was okay. And then that's fine. You know, because there is an economic burden and health burden to these accidents. It's just the faces or the numbers. You know, people die, they live with friends, they live with families, they live with responsibilities, even when such accidents could have been avoided. So that's what people should look out for.
But of course, an argument can be advanced that much emphasis is put perhaps on motorists, but we don't put much emphasis on pedestrians. Earlier you touched on the wheelbarrow pushers, cyclists. At times some accidents are caused because of wrong judgment and just somebody crossing. At times our road, engineering of our roads, the markings are not there. Even how some of the pedestrian crossings are marked. You find that they're marked just across ahead of a junction, and there's a blind on each side. A motorist can't stop behind the pedestrian. And so all those are some of the factors. So how do you reconcile such as an agency?
The pedestrians, cyclists, wheelbarrow pushers, they have also got responsibilities. For example, you know, if you're a pedestrian, walk on the right side of the road. Why do you want to walk on the opposite side of the road? You are endangering people. So pedestrians are supposed to walk on the right side of the road, crossing safely, ensure that they are visible, they are seen. Okay. Because they also have themselves to protect, apart from motorists. Yes, we know the motorists have got a responsibility, but you also have the responsibility to ensure that you are visible, to ensure that, you know, that's why we have put those pedestrian crossing. It means you, on any other point you can't cross, you have to cross there. Let's talk about a motorist safety, you know. What do? A motorist also has got responsibilities. If it's a pedestrian crossing, I must stop. If the markings are like this, I can't overtake. If it's a broken down line, I can overtake. This is the speed limit, okay, let me go that way. So those are some of the issues we should look out to. Wheelbarrow pushers, you know, sometimes you wonder, they want also to behave like motorists. Yes, they have the right of way. But look, maybe you find the guy has overloaded his wheelbarrow. He himself can't see where he's going. That's a danger in itself. A motorist is trying to swerve, maybe he's eating in the other lane. So these guys also become impatient. What are you coming to our lane? But they have seen what is happening there. So that's why they must be on the right side of the road. Most of these roads in Lusaka now have got walkways. You know, you can cycle from there, you can walk there. But the people still want to come and share. But maybe because it is due to lack of knowledge, people are not aware. We must continue talking about this thing.
But like for wheelbarrow pushers, is there a charge for them?
Well, currently,
there are instances where they've contributed to an accident on some of these our roads, and is there some charge that is minted on them?
No, unfortunately, they are not provided for because their mode of transport is categorized as non-motorized. So the Act does not provide for that.
But they are road users.
They are road
users.
Can
contribute to a cause of an
accident. And they do
several times.
Yes.
So why have they left behind? Is there a gap in the Act?
Yes, there is a gap because they are supposed to be taken care of also. If they are a causer or they are the cause, then they must be charged. But for now, because of the nature of their work, they are using a non-motorized. So the Act doesn't take care of that. It takes care of the motorized mode of transport.
Okay. So then how some of these factors how can they be prevented before we engage our followers and our listeners?
Well, basically the best thing is just to, first of all, understand the rules, adhere to them, and make sure that you are doing the right thing at the right time. If you don't know, get in touch with RATS. RATS is going to tell you, exercise patience, guys. What's the rush? Where are you going? What for? You know, if you're supposed to be at work at 8 hours, you know it's still very far away, start off in good time. If you know you're going to do other things, make sure that you start off on good time. Just be responsible. Just take patience. You know, if you want to have a conversation on the phone, if it can wait, let it wait. But if it's urgent, find the right time, pull off the road, return that call. That's how it is. It's just basically adherence to someone. And you know, it's the non-adherence to basics like this that cause the accidents. Yeah.
Right, let's take time to engage our followers and viewers so that we see if we have any experiences that they have as well. Our call line is 0772-832-122. That is 0772-832-122. Our text line is 0978-772-801. Our ground rules, please endeavor to make sure that your volume is low or turned off. Otherwise, our director will drop the call. You are through to Road Safety with RATS. Good morning. Exactly what we just from talking about, so that call is automatically dropped. If you have a contribution to make sure that your radio set or your television set or any other gadget that you are using to follow us, please, is turned off. We have a caller on the line. Good morning and welcome to Road Safety. Mindset change, and we need to engage maybe also RATS can help us to see how much information we're giving to road users, and then we can also have a mindset change with our followers and viewers as they engage us on our platform. Our text line is 0978 772 801. We have a call on the line. Good morning. You are through to road safety. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Thank you so much for turning off your volume. We seemingly have a challenge with our listeners, and they want to listen to their voices as they communicate with us. So we're just looking at these preventive measures as we go into this commemoration week. But our interest so much is on information that you give out as you are calling for this mindset change with regards to how people conduct themselves, whether I'm driving, whether I'm cycling, or whether I'm just a road user who's just walking on the sides of the roads. And maybe those habits, maybe you can elaborate more on us and how do we conduct ourselves on the roads.
We just need to continue engaging each other and not to preempt, but I think the complaint has been that the highway code is only restricted to English, and some people who know how to drive, they've got the skills, they can't comprehend, because whatever behaviors we're talking about here and the good road use behavior are contained in that road, not road traffic act, but the highway code. The highway code actually is in the process now of being translated into all the major 7 languages.
Let's see if we can accommodate a caller on the line. Now we'll get back to that. Good morning. You are through to road safety with Ratsa. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, please, we can hear you. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Chifunda, Umakuketwe.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, we push it from the fueling for I'm a public transporters. We should have fun and work on it.
Okay.
If you have the fueling, if you're passengers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chifunda. I think we've gotten the gist of your question.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, as we're explaining, I will see if we can accommodate 3 calls or 3 messages, and then we'll react to that. Mr. Chifunda is just wanting to find out whether the provision for fueling, especially on public vehicles.
Hello.
Good morning. You are through to Road Safety with Ratsa. Good morning.
Bro, good morning. How are you?
We are fine, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from, sir. Then you can give us your contribution.
Oh, this is Mr. Big Tree Maki Komtondo calling you from Chavuma, Northwest.
Big Tree from Chavuma. You can go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Thank you. I think, my question is about during the festival season. To find out some drivers who drive carelessly on the road that sometimes they even are they supposed to have headset when someone is driving?
Use of headsets. Use of headsets during driving. Okay. We've taken note of Mr. Mtondo's question from Chavuma. Thank you for coming through. Another caller on the line. Good morning. We are through to road safety. And if you have a question, you can also drop a suggestion or your contribution on our Facebook page, because this program is also live on our National Assembly Facebook page. Our text line is 0978772801. Maybe we take time to respond to those two. Mr. Chifunda's concern, refueling of especially public vehicles where less passengers are on board, and also driving, motorists using headsets while they are driving.
Thank you very much. Remember, we're talking about the theme leveraging partnerships to promote road safety. Refueling of a motor vehicle with passengers on board is not allowed. That is according to the Energy Regulation Board regulations. That is enforced by the ERB. But because we are partners, so it means if we take note of that, actually it's punishable by law. When you reach a filling station, you must refuel without any passenger on board. The idea is to reduce the risk of crashes. We are dealing with a highly flammable substance on a moving motor vehicle, so anything can happen. If anything happens, when the worst comes to the worst, there's an accident, it's better we lose property and safeguard lives. That is the idea behind that. So the law still exists. It's just that it's not being enforced. Where we see that ourselves at RATSA, we don't wait for ERB. We take punitive measures immediately. I've done that before myself at a filling station, where I've seen people, I speak to them, then they're trying to be abusive. What do? I don't engage. I just take note of the number plate of the motor vehicle. Then they come, then we charge them. So the law is still there.
But just before that, maybe if the law forbids public vehicles, passenger vehicles, for example, I would say if a Toyota Hiace, 12-seater, red number, passengers disembark. I have a 12-seater bus, not in public registration, but private, 12 capacity, I still refuel. So is there lesser life risk on private or public buses? Why should there be that discrepancy? And if there are gaps to be filled, what should be done to the Act?
Well, that's what we are talking about. You know, the Act only provides for public service vehicles which are engaged in transporting, because they are applying for hire. They are earning a profit, so they must adhere to certain regulations. Not that their life is more important than the life of people using a private motor vehicle, but because the law does not provide for the others, it only provides for that. So we can only...
Why can't you turn it into just capacities of vehicles regardless of registration? Because the risk is the same.
But this is why we undertook a process of amending the Road Traffic Act, and those are some of the things that have been taken care of now.
Okay.
So the Amendment Act has taken care of a number of things. Not only that, we have also taken a number of, in terms of motor vehicle registration, it has taken care of the reduced number of age for someone to become a taxi driver, and validity of a PSV. So those are some of the issues, because we looked at those things and we said, hey, look, these can't be more important, this can't be stringent on this when the risk is the same. So we're trying to provide an average playing field.
Right. Mr. Mtondo, Chavma, follower use of headsets while less driving.
Look, you can only use headsets when you're responding to a call. You can't put on headsets and you're listening to music and you're driving people. Those are not bags you are driving. Those are not sacks of soybeans, or you are not carrying sand. You are carrying human life. Human life is treasured. So you can't. It's the same. Are you aware that the law forbids playing of loud music on a bus? You can actually report that person, and that person can be fined 450 kwacha. If you're taken to court, you actually pay more. So first of all, you can't play loud music. You're disturbing people. The law forbids. Even headsets. You are distracted. Suppose someone is trying to give you a signal to say, oh, there you're not supposed to go. Stop, there is danger. Because of your headsets, you can't hear. You end up killing people, you know. And it's because your concentration is also diverted. You don't focus on the road. You like to swerve. The music is very good. You also want to drive in the manner the beat is taking you. You get off the road. You career off. So that is not correct.
All right. Our text line 0978772801 from Bereshi, basically just following a program, and you are learning a lot. Thumbs up to Ratsa, that's your comment. Kasua from Bereshi. And we also take note of our followers on our Facebook page that are just watching and following the program. We see you, and of course we take notice of your participation on our Facebook page as well. Call line is 0772-832-A122. We have a call on the line. Good morning. Good morning. You are through to Road Safety with Ratsa.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Kawe. I'm Nick.
Kawe, and your name, sir?
My name is Nick.
Okay, go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I just wanted to find out, these public service buses, are drivers allowed to eat while they're driving? Because I've observed that they get food when they reach at a certain place, and then they start eating while they're driving. Is it allowed? Okay.
Thank you for that contribution, Mr. Havalu. Will react to that. We can accommodate another caller on our line, 0772-832-122. Public service vehicle drivers eating while less driving. That's from Kawe. We have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Hello, Mokabwanji.
Tauka Mokabwanji, you can go ahead with your contribution and tell us your name, please. Vincent, okay, go ahead. Siva police Mbakuratsa. So restrict your question within Ratsa, mandate ya Ratsa, siva ku Zambia police yai.
Okay. Bakuratsa, nisana nifunze kuri bakuratsa, kuti vanyantanzire bwande. Sai ndiye vatiyangania parodi. Nagura moto wa muntu inangu, manje sasa na kuti sasa white book. So singa mochipia, namba na musta report kuchiranga, vanamuitana kana bwere. Inaenda kunyumba kwake zapezeka kutuma phone tani yanka so singa mochipia kuzi nakala naye moto kwa almost 7 months saoneka.
Okay.
So singa ndaka bwanji kuti antali zileko kozi ai nisongera misongo motoka kulibo tuningaende kai tapitabe.
Okay. All right, Mr. Havalu will respond to that, although we are focusing on commemoration of the Road Safety Week, but of course we've come through with regards, we begin with PSV drivers eating. In other economies, and smoking is not allowed, touching food is not allowed on the road and things like that. And then this is a concern that comes from Kawe. PSV drivers, are they allowed to enjoy their food while it's driving?
I mean, I'm just from talking about good road user behavior here. It may not be a law, but there is what is called good road user behavior. How would you eat at the same time and drive, guys? You are a driver, you must be focused. Your attention is on the road. You are not there to play. There's nothing that stops you from eating. If you're at a station, park for 5 minutes, have your snacks, have your food, then continue driving. The idea of you not eating is because one is going to distract you, you are not going to concentrate on your driving, and you risk causing an accident because your focus will be on the food. Remember, the owners of the language you are using, they say you can't save 2 masters at a time. So one master must be saved at a time. So it is just bad road user behavior which may lead into an accident that can be avoided.
Okay. And help to Mr. Stali with regards to transaction, and someone has not surrendered the white book. What help can he get from the agency?
He's being extremely bad and is being extremely unfair to Mr. Stali, because Mr. Stali paid him money. Unless you owes him, then you can hold on to the registration certificate, in this case the white book. A person has paid you, you have stopped answering, police have summoned you, you can't go there. Here's a solution to my brother. He's calling from where?
From Linda.
From Linda. Lusaka. I think Mimosa is the nearest. So what you can do, you can just pick up a phone call, call 983, or go to any other RATSA station and make this point. What RATSA is going to do is going to check on that guy, the one who sold him the vehicle. RATSA can either block the motor vehicle or block the license of that owner, meaning that guy can never transact on any RATSA services. Then that will compel him to come RATSA. First of all, RATSA is going to engage him to say there is this concern brought by this person. What really happened? Because we have to hear from him. If what Mr. Sadi said is a true version of what really transpired, then RATSA will have no option but to block the motor vehicle or the license of the owner, because all other avenues have been tried. Trust me, when that's done, Mr. Study is going to have his white book.
And on one of our programs, we looked at a change of ownership. And of course, you had caution on both the vendor and also the buyer. Maybe on the side of a vendor who sold the vehicle, what charge can you give to that person other than those other factors or interventions of blocking his access to your services?
Well, it's failure to comply, because it's lawful that you must do that. So it's failure to obey lawful instructions. Right. And you know, lawful instruction is very subjective. If I tell you, Julius, do this, you don't know, said you have failed to obey. Because when I'm telling you anything, it is a law, and I'm speaking in the name of the president. So it's not me you are disobeying, you understand? So it's a failure to obey lawful instructions. Right, so yes. Let our brother come to any RATSA station, just come to RATSA station, and their issue will be sorted out. Because as we have got the contacts of the registered owner, so there are other means we can use to get in touch with the person, and the RATSA is going to help him actually get his white book. Right. The motor vehicle is not yours if you don't have that document.
Right, Mr. Edwin Piri on our Facebook says buses are always neglecting their lay-by points to blocking the road. Happens at Arcades, Zambezi Corner. We have never seen any authorities taking them to book Also, is it allowed to have buses pick passengers from inside a hospital, like what happens at Levi Mwanawasa Hospital, regarding the fact that buses have been known to even park to pick psychologically challenged people? This is Edwin Piri, a follower on our Facebook page. Maybe we can also read some messages and then now you react to that. Good morning. I would like to find out if RATSA also enforces the rule on billboards obstructing views at junctions, e.g. junction of Greg Lungu and Given Luwinda roads. That's about billboards obstructing motorists at junctions. It's a message from Chikuba. Another message comes and says, can you give that call line slowly? I want to contribute. Okay, our call line is 0772 832 122. 0772 832 122, and our text line is 0978 772 801. Okay, we begin by looking at buses picking. This is in line with behavioral change and also good road usership with regards to buses. They park at times. We've seen them, and you've seen that. We've talked about it on this program. The lay-by is empty. There's no other vehicle. The bus will just park at the beginning of the lay-by and obstructing the whole, just a bit of the vehicle off the road, but the entire vehicle, the bus is on the road and obstructing other road users. And when there's no vehicle parked ahead of them, are they allowed? And what are you doing to mitigate
they are
this?
not. Remember, when we started, we talked about shared responsibility.
And picking passengers from hospitals.
Yes. I agree totally. It happens, and it may continue to happen, but we must put a stop to this. Now, let's put this into perspective, and please, let's understand each other. That when something happens for a long time, it becomes normal, because we have tolerated the society. Remember, I said road safety is a shared responsibility. Those people behave like that because they see that there's no presence of a law enforcement officer. And law enforcement officers cannot be everywhere. So we depend on the members of the public, the commuters themselves. Let's start by people not parking in the lay-by. First of all, let's start by saying, what is a bus stop? What's a bus station? At a bus stop, you don't load. You just drop people and off you go. A bus station, you stop, people jump out and others come in. Okay? People, the bus drivers, park where they're not supposed to because people stand there, and their business is to get money. You know that you're not supposed to stand at this particular place. We have even have stations that are not known. At Instead of Chimtengo, you know, we are going to Kawata before Kawata station per flat. People load there. That's not as designated a pickup point. But because we ourselves, individuals, do not want to go, because it's nearer from your flat to the station, you want to go there. So it starts with us. Let's go at the right pickup points. The buses are going to stop there. Also, when you see that these people are picking up passengers where they're not supposed to, because if you're in a lay-by and there are 4 rosters, then it means the one lane is blocked, then it's gone. So if you notice that, please take note of the number plate. Yours is just to report. Us is to implement. Then we'll get back to you. That case you reported, this is what has happened, this is how we have resolved it. Then you are going to say whether you're satisfied or not, but we would have done our work within the confines of the law. So
Squaring
we
of
depend on members.
by billboards again. Some of these billboards, times the heights are not enough. You barely cannot see where you're going, and some of them are just
And
erected
sometimes at night, you
at
know,
the
those ones
junctions
which light up, they brighten you, so you stop seeing.
and especially the digital ones as well.
Exactly. Now, that's a responsibility of the local authority. The local authority
But they are your partners as well. How do you engage them?
So I'm coming to that. So what I'm saying is that the responsibility of the local authorities. They are the ones who know what size of billboard to put and the dangers of such a billboards they know, because they've got an engineering department. Ours is advisory, because we are a partnership. So ours, we advise. In terms of road safety, this is not supposed to be placed there. Please do that, because they are the only ones who can remove and erect a billboard. We don't have that mandate. Ours is an advisory law. So we advise them, please, let's save lives. If you continue doing like this is a danger.
Okay.
And in most cases where we've provided advice, they have been helpful.
All right. Okay, now with regards to now coming to the end of the year, maybe you can also share with us some of the achievements that you have achieved during the year, and what we should also look forward to the new innovations as people visit these kiosks and the information desks during the commemoration of the Road Safety Week.
Well, thank you very much. And I think there's been a lot of innovations in the agents. One was where the agents launched the app, the application which is called the enforcement app. You know, nowadays you don't, even if I'm not on the road, I can still book. I just take note of your number plate, I enter it, it will tell me whether the validity of your fitness, the validity of your road tax, the validity of your NRC. You know, I just enter in the vehicles and I book you. Then it will give you the dates, it will give you the time, the name of the road, and when you come, will tell you. Others have said, no, but there was no traffic officer there, but I was just alone. How did you book me? And it was in the middle of the night. Maybe the vehicle that was following you had a RATSA officer there, and the guy just used the smart enforcement. You know, now the world is going into, it's digital now. We are transforming. So that is what is happening. It has happened to me before. A lady accused me that maybe I just had a grudge. Because, no, maybe just as a grudge. How can he book me? I didn't see him. We took time to explain to her that you don't need to see me physically in uniform for me to charge me. That has changed. What happened? And I even gave her a narration which she remembered. I said, you were on phone, this is what you did, this is the problem, and this is the time. So everything was recorded, and we gave her a printout. I said, but I didn't know that you can also do this. Okay. You know, the only good thing is that she was remorseful. You know, so that's one of, and also it reduces the, you know, if officers are always on the road, it's a risk to be on the road, Mr. Musumali. It's a risk. Anything can happen to you.
No, I understand. Some of our officers have been victims of
unfortunately.
these accidents.
Unfortunately, that's why we are calling on good road user behavior. We're also protecting our officers, you know, and also the agency, I think, has opened itself up to members of the public. People can walk into our offices, ask for any services, and please, when you want a RATSA service, do not just anyone you find under the tree or someone moving in the corridor. Say, what do you want? I can help you get it quickly. Who says you can't get it yourself quickly? When you want a service, walk up into the RATSA station, ask for the manager, ask for the assistant manager. If you don't want to go to those offices, frontline officers, the cashiers, the data capturers, go to them, ask them. They'll tell you, we've got reports that no, me, I paid 2,500. I wanted to get this, but this person said he's going to get, his phone is off, his number is what? Okay. Who is that person that I don't know?
Unfortunately, I have to stop you here, but just before you go, and to just give you hope that your efforts are not going just in vain, I have a message that comes from Mr. Fitzpatrick Singendende, who says, mine is just to encourage Mr. Havalu. The man is an asset on the road, on road safety, and hence we need to take heed of his counsel. I always enjoy his professional maturity. That is some good message that gives you at times we do the thankless jobs that Mr. Fitzpatrick is complimenting your effort on road safety as well.
Well, that is very good and encouraging, my brother. I am most grateful. So together we can achieve a lot. What we just need to do is continue engaging. These behaviors will continue to happen, but we should not tire. Okay. We should continue engaging one another, giving people information, and we should also continue charging each other. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that is a way in which we are going to expedite behavioral change.
All right. And so in closing then, how do the public get to you? Give us, again, just some of the platforms, the contact lines, the hotlines where people have to reach the agency, since they're also stakeholders, and you said you depend on their information as well.
Well, they can easily get in touch with us by calling our toll-free line 983. That is the National Call Center. You can be in Lundazi, you can be in Kaputa, provided you have access to Airtel, Zamtel, and the MTN. It's open to all these mobile network providers, so you can call. You can also access us through our website, www.rtsa.org.zm. Everything I've spoken about, it's there, including a lot more which I haven't touched on. You can access that information, okay? So you can physically visit us. For example, if you are in Impika, go to our Impika office. The colleagues there are going to be more than willing to attend to you. For those who are able to write emails, you can send your email to askrtsa@rtsa.rg.zm. You can also get in touch with us via the hotline. The hotline is usually reserved for emergencies, which is 0955 983 983, 0955 983 983. So all those are options that are open. And by the way, just very quickly, the RATSA now is been working on what is calling upgrading of its call center. You must be there to see it on Monday, because that's when it's going to be launched. It's very, very good. It's very, very beautiful. It has got features that you've never seen before. Everything. If you have a dispute, we are going to play back. We are going to listen to the conversation. If an officer misbehaved and they use derogatory language, we are going to play back and listen to that. And there's no way the officer is going to tamper with that recording.
All right. And just a thought of participation in the Road Safety Week. Who are invited and who are supposed to participate?
Every citizen is invited. There's no restriction. There's no invitation card. It's open to all. And we would call upon members of the public. Please take advantage. If you miss the official launch, if you hear there is information kiosk or roadshow in Chawama, turn up in the largest numbers. We know that now schools have closed. At least our kids can come up. And we are going to, because we are catering for all ages now. So everybody should just come up. Invitation is free.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Musuma. It's a
so
pleasure being here.
for our program.
Thank you very much. I'm most grateful.
All right. So we come to the end of the program, but of course, like we always do, these messages that you send, you take note of them, especially the ones that are of an administrative nature, and also your complaints in your areas. Among them, the Mongole Junction, where you're talking about it being blocked during some hours. These will be forwarded to RATSA, and also they'll be able to come up with mitigation measures like we have always done. But for now, I have to let Mr. Havalu go, and we'll come to the end of the program. Remember, we're looking at Road Safety Week, which will be commemorated beginning on the 12th, running through to 17th of December 2022. And of course, my guest was Mr. Roy Havalu. On sign language, I had Mr. Jason Manda, and I've been your presenter, Julius Musmale. But in closing, remember, the blue light keeps watching you.